Assalamu alaikum dear students, hope you all doing well. Today we are going to start a new chapter, that's natural resources, and in this chapter you will come to know about what natural resources are, what are different natural resources and the importance of those natural resources. First of all, let's talk about what natural resources are. Natural resources are simply those resources which occur naturally and they are not made by humans. These are important as far as life is concerned. And we use these natural resources either directly or indirectly. Indirectly, we use them as raw materials to make different complex and more usable items or the products. So simply, natural resources are naturally occurring resources which are important for the life and they cannot be made by humans. We use them directly as well as indirectly. And when we talk about the natural resources, the most important of the natural resources are air, water, and land. Air, water, and land. We all know that our earth is surrounded by a blanket of air. This blanket of air is called as atmosphere. And all the forms of water on earth, that's be it water in oceans, seas, rivers, or as snow or glaciers, or underground water, we have water vapors. All this water on the earth, in whatsoever form, it's called as hydrosphere. And after that, the outer crust of the earth on which we live, we build buildings, plant trees. This very particular layer is called as lithosphere. Now let's talk about these three, that's atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere in detail, starting with atmosphere. What atmosphere actually is? It's a mixture of various gases like nitrogen, which accounts for around 78%, oxygen, which accounts for around 21%, and other gases like carbon dioxide, hydrogen, neon, xenon, these account for the other 1%. And if we talk about carbon dioxide, its concentration is above 0.03%. Apart from these gases, there are dust particles, there are water vapors in the atmosphere. When we talk about these gases in the atmosphere, these gases are very important as far as life on Earth is concerned. If we talk about oxygen, you all know how important oxygen is. It's important for the respiration of living organisms, and that's breakdown of the food to get energy. So oxygen is required for that. Carbon dioxide is required for the process of photosynthesis. And photosynthesis, you know the importance of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is also called as the reaction of life. And if we talk about nitrogen, nitrogen is also an important constituent of different biomolecules. Biomolecules means those molecules which are present inside the living organisms like proteins or nucleic acids. Nitrogen is a very important constituent of these biomolecules, that's proteins and nucleic acids. Apart from the importance of these gases for the sustenance of life, our atmosphere also controls our climate. It also controls our climate. It controls the temperature, it controls the winds, it controls the rain and the different aspects of the atmosphere, or rather our climate. Now the question arises how it controls the temperature, how it controls winds or rain. Let's take a look at that. It actually keeps the Earth's average temperature at a very specific range. It does not let it go beyond certain temperature, or it does not let it decrease very drastically. When we talk about the role of atmosphere during the day when the sun is in its full swing. This atmosphere produces a cooling effect. That means it does not let the earth to increase its temperature drastically. So it creates a cooling effect. But when we talk about night, when there is no source of heat, it does not let the heat escape from the earth, which is already absorbed by the earth during the day. So this is how it controls the overall temperature of the earth. Now let's talk about movement of air, how this atmosphere affects the movement of air, that's winds. This is actually, the winds are created due to the differential heating of the atmosphere. What does that mean, differential heating? Differential heating means at certain places air is heated up more quickly as compared to the other areas. Like we can say on land, when we talk about land, the air which is present over the land heats up more quickly as compared to the air which is present over the water bodies like oceans or seas. So this very particular air which is present over the land, this heats up more quickly as compared to the air which is present over the water bodies. So what happens when this air which is present over the land, when this heats up, it goes upwards, it moves upwards, or it rises, we can say. When it rises upwards, a low pressure is created at this very particular place. A low pressure is created at this very particular place as compared to this one, the air around over the water bodies. So what does that actually mean? That means we have a difference in the atmospheric pressure. Here we have low pressure and here we have high pressure. And you know the diffusion, that's movement of a substance from higher concentration to the lower concentration. So the air starts moving from here, its higher concentration, to the lower concentration, or from higher pressure to the lower pressure over the land. So this creates winds. And when this air rises up, this warm air over the land, when this rises up, it creates a high pressure over here. It creates a high pressure over here. And from this high pressure, again, air moves from here to there. Because if we talk about this place, the air is moving downwards, because when the air moves from over here to there, consequently a low pressure will be created at this very particular place, So this is how it all works. From the air moves from a higher pressure area to a lower pressure area. So this is how atmosphere controls the movement of air. Now let's talk about rain. How is rain formed? We all know that water vapors are added to the atmosphere by various processes like evaporation or some biological activities like respiration or transpiration. And these water vapors, when added to the atmosphere, they rise up with the hot air. And when they rise up, the higher we go, the cooler it is. That means when they go higher enough, there is low temperature, and in the low temperature, these water vapors cool and condense to form water droplets. And these water droplets, when they become heavy enough, they come down in the form of rain. And when the temperature is very low, these water droplets, they come down in different forms, like snow, sleet, or hail. Now let's talk about air pollution. How is this air polluted? And why is this air polluted, and what are the consequences or the effects of the air pollution? If we talk about what air pollution actually is, it's simply when the composition of the air or when the composition of the atmosphere is changed or disturbed. That means the normal composition of the atmosphere, when it gets disturbed by the increase or the decrease of a pollutant, of a substance, we can say of a gas rather, it's called as air pollution. Carbon dioxide, which is normally present, for example, carbon dioxide which is normally present in the atmosphere, when the concentration of carbon dioxide increases, we say it's a pollutant. So this is what we mean by the composition is disturbed. It's not just the addition of some pollutants. It's not just the addition of some new substances in the air. We can also say air pollution when the concentration of a particular gas increases or decreases. For example, if we talk about this carbon dioxide, when the concentration of this carbon dioxide increases, it causes global warming. You will come to know about this very particular term in the later part of this chapter. So we need not to discuss about this term over here. Here you need to remember that when the this concentration of carbon dioxide increase, it causes global warming. That's increase in the temperature, increase in the average global temperature. Or when some other harmful products like oxides of nitrogen or oxides of sulfur are present in the air, we say air is polluted. These oxides of nitrogen and oxides of sulfur, they cause acid rain. That means they make the rain acidic. They lower the pH of the rain, and the rain which comes down, that's called as acid rain. And apart from these very particular urgencies like global warming or the acid rain, the inhalation of various harmful gases which are present in our atmosphere, they also cause various health issues like allergy, or in some cases it may also cause cancer, heart diseases. So this is another consequence of air pollution. The question arises, what is the main cause of this air pollution? How is air polluted? It's actually, although natural activities also account for air pollution, natural activities like volcanic eruption is one of the causes of air pollution. But mostly air is polluted by human activities. It's polluted by human activities, and these human activities are burning of fossil fuels. When humans burn a lot of fossil fuels, a lot of gases are like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, some chlorofluorocarbons, they get released in the atmosphere and they pollute air. Or industrial wastes, various industrial wastes in the form of gases are emitted in our atmosphere. That's how air is polluted. Mining also pollutes our air. Or deforestation also pollutes our air. Deforestation, you already know that plants utilize carbon dioxide, but when we cut down plants at a large scale, that's what we mean by deforestation. So it actually accounts for air pollution. So this was all about the air, the importance of air, how it controls the atmosphere, how it controls our climate, how it controls the temperature, the winds, the rain. After that, I gave you a brief introduction about air pollution, what air pollution actually means. So this was all about the atmosphere. Inshallah, in the next lecture, I'll tell you about hydrosphere, that's water. So this is it for now. Thank you.